Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Brigitte and today I'm working with ink. Here is my seal. It's a tiger and you will see that underneath my name is engraved phonetically in Chinese. This is my ink to print my seal. This one is oil based and is very durable. It dries quickly on rice paper, however, it dries slowly on watercolor paper. Here I have my ink stick. It's a small one because I don't need to make a large work. And even though it's small, it's cheap and quite beautiful. The advantage of ink stick over ink bottle is that they allow us to make thicker ink, as thin as syrup even. Here's my inkstone. You can see it's quite small and very inexpensive. It's good for small work because it doesn't hold much ink. You should only make as much ink as you need. If you are only doing a bit of calligraphy, you won't need much ink, unless you're filling a large sheet of rice paper. The first thing we do is to dip the inkstone in warm water for about 20 minutes. So it can absorb some water. Otherwise, our ink will dry too quickly. Here, I dip the ink stick into the water to soften it a little. Otherwise, the sound it makes when rubbing against the inkstone is like rubbing stone together. As such, I regularly dip my ink stick back in water to soften it, and it will make a much more pleasant sound, which you can easily work to for 15 to 45 minutes. Making your own ink is very zen. It allows you to think about what you will draw or write. That's why I prefer using ink stick over pre-made ink. However, if you have pre-made ink, you can make it thicker by using your inkstone and your stick. Instead of starting with water, you start with ink and then thicken it with the ink stick. It works just as well. I enjoy the zen process of making ink from scratch. Everyone needs a bit of zen in its life. As you can see, the rotation is speeding up. You don't want to press too hard with the stick, or you will end up with clump, which we want to avoid. I don't know how well you can see it, but the ink is already thicker than before. This is after about 15 minutes of work. It's not quite like syrup, but it is close enough. As you can see, I tilt the stick a little to create a bubble underneath, which allows the liquid to penetrate. Here I will make a drawing with only water. I only put ink on the water I put on the paper. I'm using watercolor paper, by the way. As you can see, the tree is starting to appear. The drawing is of a tree on the edge of the small lake. We can work wet on wet if we want to accentuate certain part. also use drawing gum if you want to reserve some white spot. Now we're almost done. I just need to work on some small detail here and there. That's the edge of the small lake. Here I go back to a partially dry surface with black ink. And now I'm just adding some water. Then I'm going to draw a small road next to the lake using only water. Here I add just a bit of ink. I'm going to sign my initial with red ink. Then, above that, I will write the meaning of my name in Chinese. What I am writing here is a mountain summit. And finally, I will add my seal. This type of seal works best on rice paper. It doesn't work quite as well on water paper, but it still looks nice. If you like this video, please subscribe to not miss my next video. Thank you for watching.